What's up, YouTube? So today's topic, I'm going to talk about the misconceptions when it comes to people saving money and people spending money and saving money, right? So let's get to it. So the reason why I say this is because I watched a couple of videos where like supposedly this guy was very rich and he's like a sales marketing guy. I'm not sure what he does, but I guess he's very wealthy. And he asked his customer a question of how much money he has saved up, and that customer, he's been working for about 13 years, and he said the total amount of money he has saved up is 5,000, right? Now, and then the wealthy guy that asked that question, he was trying to shame the guy, like he was trying to like shame him. He was saying like that's no excuse, or like you shouldn't be doing that, and like how have you been working 13 years, only got 5,000 saved up? And I'm looking, I'm thinking like, well, and it made me inspired to make this video. The thing with money is that like, take a wealthy person, right? That wealthy person, let's say that wealthy person, the same money that wealthy person, like, if he were to spend, that wealthy person were to spend the same amount of money of what the customer spends on average, then you're gonna look at that wealthy person as like, damn, that wealthy person's actually like very good with his or her money, because that wealthy person barely spends any money. Why do I say this? Because that wealthy person is wealthy, right? So the average wealthy person, think of any high number of money they make. Let's say that wealthy person makes $500,000, right? Versus the 9-to-5 worker who makes like, I don't know, like he gets paid like $20 an hour. So that's like $70,000 per year, right? If that wealthy person were to spend the same amount of money as a person making $70,000, that you're going to consider that wealthy person as financially disciplined and financially smart. So this is what I'm getting at. It's not necessarily about the numbers, but it's more so about like it's still illusion. Like money is a fucking illusion. The reason why we have so many people who work these 9-to-5 jobs for like so many years, and the reason why they can't even save up, or they don't have like 6 figures saved up, is because these 9-to-5 jobs, they're not giving us as much money to go. They're only giving us enough money to go buy. Even with families, some people they can't even support their families. They need food stamps and stuff like that. So the average 9-to-5 worker gets paid $15 to $30 an hour. $15 to $30 an hour. That's not good. Even like under $100 per hour, that's still not enough. But I'm talking about the typical like college person or teen or like person in their 20s. I'm not talking about a person in their 40s, but if you want to use that example, you can. Or I mean, if you want to use that statistic, you can. But the average person making that much amount of money is like, nah, because like the reason why people are struggling to invest and to gain so much money is because of the system. You know how much money it costs to even maintain a car? Not just any car, but even a fucking decent car. You know how expensive it is to have a used car? Just even have a decent car that won't break down every fucking like every 7 months, where you gotta constantly change the engine, oil checks, change the tires, and put gas on the car. A decent car is a lot of money. On top of that, imagine how much money it costs to even have your own house. And then you got paid for food, you got paid for a water bill, you got paid for clothes. I'm sure there's certain like entertainment people want, or certain courses that people like to pay monthly. Like you see people are subscribed to like Patreon or different type of courses that charge you monthly. And like people, like they need to spend money on their jobs or on their vehicles, on their body, on their health. They got to pay money for their gym membership. Damn near everything they want, they had to pay for that shit. And these 9-to-5 jobs, they don't pay you enough just to even, they pay you enough just to get by, to even maintain it. They barely make you get by, just even maintain all that. You know what I'm saying? And now what happens if you have like something damages your house? What do you have like a gas leak or a water leak or like an electric malfunction, and then you got to pay for workers to fix and maintain that shit. Now imagine people with kids, with multiple kids and families to feed. You know what I'm saying? Or what if they get into a car crash or they get injured? You know what I'm saying? So the money system, there's a huge imbalance within the money system. So there's a huge imbalance, and people aren't talking about that as much, you know, and that's a big problem. So that's one of the reasons why people are struggling to save a lot of money, because this is why you see damn near 80% of Americans work these 9 to 5 jobs, and none of them are making over six, and none of them are like having investments. They're not wealthy, they're not rich, they don't own multiple businesses, and even though you do, it's not booming, it's not popping off. Because of these 9 to 5s, they're not supporting them as much. Getting paid under $100 per hour, that's not enough. Especially in this timeline, this economy, everything's getting more expensive. You know how much expensive it is to even maintain a vehicle? Shit. In the civilian life, you gotta pay for health care, you gotta pay for medical care, you gotta pay for dental, you gotta pay for like a medical bill, car insurance, and stuff like that. In the military, no, even for college, like even for civilians, like if they want to go to college, they gotta pay for that shit. I get it, they use like student loans and shit like that, but they still gotta pay that back. And even then, if they don't pass, they still gotta pay that back. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like even in the military, like even at least in the military, like the college is free because you can use credential assistance or tuition assistance. You don't have to pay for like dental or medical care. But even then, it's so hard to maintain finances in the military. So, and I think they try to use that trick to get people in the military. But that's a different topic. But you see where I'm getting at? Like everything is not like, I feel like in the government or the matrix or the people controlling this shit, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. So like they're trying to like, they're purposely doing that shit so every single person could struggle. So this is why they're not making enough just to get by. They need to work a job. This is why a job stands for just over broke. So they could maintain that job and stick with it out of fear. The government, the Masons, they know what they're doing. If they don't, then why can't they? Since they control all the money and all the resources, and for such a long day, like they have control over that shit. They control damn near the whole world. Why can't they give Americans or people working for third world countries more money so they could get by, so they can invest and build a better, more successful, healthier, safer, peaceful life for themselves? They could do that, but they're not, because they control the system. They're evil, they're corrupt, they have a lot of hatred in their heart, they're very insecure, and they want to take over because they're fucking evil. And they're getting away with that shit for thousands of years. Because this realm, this reality, it allows them to do that shit. Because people are submitting to the system, they're not questioning the system, they're not getting exposed. And this reality, this realm, they're letting this shit happen because, shout out to Chauncey One, because what Chauncey One just said, because these Masons, they know how this reality or realm works. So they're letting the rules and regulations of this fucking realm and this reality to work in their favor. Shout out to Chauncey One, so they won't even get any type of karma. And like I said, Chauncey One, he mentioned those great points, and he made a good point. So you see how everything adds up. So I'm not saying it's impossible, but it is possible to like make money. It is possible to like build wealth, but it's very challenging. It's very hard, and like there's just a lot of bullshit and dumb shit, and you got to go through. But even then, you still need. It requires a lot of patience. It requires a lot of setbacks and bullshit. This is why a lot of people like in these jobs, they always bitch and complain. Because I do it too. It's waste our time because our system is outdated, and the government, the Masons, they have all the technology resources to make this world a better place so people don't have to work. They have that much advanced technology, but they're not using it because, like I said, they're very evil. They like control, and they're using this realm, this reality to their advantage to take over shit with at least blood in their hands. So that creates a lot of traumatizing shit towards the collective mind. So this is why the average human person, they're not living life, they're surviving. And once that happens, it creates a lot of stress within their mind. And when that creates a lot of stress, it creates a lot of depression, it creates a lot of narcissism, and it forces people to disconnect from themselves because they're too busy surviving and trying to feed their families, trying to get by, focusing on when they're going to get their next paycheck. So you see how deep this shit runs. It's not like this shit's deep, you know. Not saying it's impossible. Like I said, it is possible for them to build something on themselves. But like I said, it's gonna take time, and it's gonna take a lot of like bullshit you got to go through. And if it was easy, everyone would do it, but most people aren't doing it. You know what I'm saying? And just like what Chauncey once said, in order for you to even make finances, you got to release certain blockages and have a certain energy. And you have to know how the system works and how it plays, because this shit has rules and regulations. Just like what Chauncey once said, shout out to him. In order for you to even create financial wealth and abundance, you know what I'm saying? So it's bullshit. yeah, that's all I gotta say. Like, comment, subscribe, have a good one, and let me know your thoughts. I'm not sure if I should continue. Another thing too is that the system creates a lot of unfairness. So like, this is why you see some people who are born with wealth versus you see other people who win wealth by being lucky, like if they win the lottery or they found money on the ground, or just they get their what's the word? They get their inheritance, or see other people born into rich families, while you got other people born on the streets, born homeless. So this system, this money system, is very fucking evil because it creates people, like it forces people to compete with themselves, to go against with one another, and to create like a crabs in a bucket, or what's it called, crabs in a barrel type of mindset, so people are against one another, and that creates division. And this is why people aren't exposing the system. They're not like questioning this shit, because they're so focused on competing and trying to get one up with one another because of the money system. It creates division. It creates a huge disconnect within the human mindset and within their actions as well, because this has been going on for a long ass time. So this is why this money system, it creates a lot of like fuckery and bullshit. You know, while you have third world countries who they can't even afford money, they can't even afford food or shelter or shit like this. People are living on the fucking streets. Even in America, people are living in the streets. You know what I'm saying? And that in itself is just fucking weird, and that creates a lot of anger. That creates a lot of frustration, confusion, and a lot of sadness within, and stress and fear within the human collective. So you see how evil and fucking corrupt and just fucking sick this system is. People want to just like ignore it and be like, oh, there's nothing wrong with it. No, it is a huge fucking issue because it's been going on for such a long time. And what pissed me off is that like these government empowered Masons, they do have the solutions. They can fix this shit, but they're refusing to do that because of how fucking evil they are. And unfortunately, and watch Chanchuan's videos, he breaks this shit down. He talks about how there's certain rules and regulations within this reality, within this realm, that allows these Masons to even do shit like that because they know how this reality works. They know how this astrological influences work within this reality, and they're using that shit to their advantage. So this is why I type in my community, like it's God or the universe or spirit or this reality or this realm. They're the main fucking problems, because just the fact that this realm and this reality even allows shit like this to even happen. You know, and Chantuan even he talked about this too. He even said like the rules of this reality and realm, like he said it doesn't have any morals. It doesn't play by the book. It plays by certain rules and regulations that you have to abide by. If you don't, it's gonna create a certain orchestration to where like it's gonna cause chaos. This is why these Masons are able to get away with this shit they are, because they know how the rules of this life works. That's why. So this is why when I say it's like, even though they are the problem, is more so God, the universe, the creator of this reality, is life, is this realm, the human experience, it's this third realm. These are the main fucking problem. You know what I'm saying? But yes, they can get exposed. They can get like exposed and shut down, and other human beings that are righteous, they can control this shit in a way where like we don't have to go through as much bullshit or any type of evil shit compared to these Masons. That is possible, but in order for people to do that, people need to wake up. People need to realize what the hell is going on, and they need to take action. Now, do I think that's gonna happen? To be honest, yes and or no. So I want to be surprised if this happened in this timeline, but at the same time, I'm not getting my hopes up, because in order for us to even do that, it's going to cause a lot of chaos and a lot of war and all this bullshit. Maybe it's not. Maybe I don't know, but who knows how this shit's gonna play out? Because you have time speeding up, so the days are going by a lot faster. You got time accelerating, so maybe time in itself is exposing this system, because you got astrological influences come into play, like time speeding up. Time is speeding up every fucking year, and since time is speeding up, it's gonna force people to wake up and realize that, hey, time is speeding up. I don't got time for my personal self. Why is time speeding up? This job is taking up most of my time. I feel enslaved. We need to speak up about this. So that's what I feel like. That's my conclusion of what people are going to do, because time is speeding up. This is the only way for people to wake up and realize what the fuck is going on, other than along with other YouTubers like Mooney, Mercury Baby, Chantuan, and other people who expose this fucking system, right? But yeah, but that's all I gotta say, and have a good one. Peace.